Good morning, class 6. I want to welcome you to our science lesson. Now, we started discussing about soil, and we have been discussing about soil erosion. We have also discussed about the types of soil erosion. Now, today, I want us to discuss about how to control soil erosion. Remember, we said that soil erosion is the removal, is the carrying away of top fertile soil to another place. So we want to look at how can we avoid these different types of soil erosion. Number one, we can control soil erosion by constructing gabions. Gabions are also known as porous dams. They are also known as porous dams. When we construct gabions, it will enable us to prevent the type of soil erosion called gully erosion. Number two, cultivating across the slopes and along the contours. All of us know what contours are and what the slopes are. So, when you are cultivating your land, you must cultivate across the slope. Then cultivate along the contours. Remember, the contours cut across the slopes. So when you are growing your crops on the contours, you don't grow across the contours but along the contours, because the shape of the contours take or cut across the shape of the slope. Then we have constructing terraces on steep slopes so that you can reduce surface runoff. Those areas that are steep, terraces are supposed to construct it. Terraces are small channels, or they are channels that control the water from the steep slopes so that it can move on the sides of the slope instead of cutting across the slope. Then we have mulching, which controls splash erosion. Now, mulching is covering the ground with plant materials. Covering the ground with plant materials like grass. We also have banana fiber, maize stalks, and so on. So when you cover the ground with those plant materials like leaves, you will be preventing what we call splash erosion. Splash erosion is prevented by mulching. Then avoid overstocking. Now, overstocking is the act of rearing a lot of animals on your farm, and yet the farm is small. So you are advised, or we are advised, that we only keep a small number of animals that our farms can sustain. So when we overstock, when we keep a lot of animals, remember they will cause the land or the farm to be bare, which exposes it to the agents of erosion, that's water and wind. Then we have planting trees around the farms to act as wind breaks. Let's say, for example, it's the dry season and your land has dried up, there is no vegetation, we have loose topsoil, but your land is lacking trees. So when you plant the trees around your farm, it will act as the wind breaks. It will stop the wind from carrying away the top fertile loose soil. Then we have avoiding burning of vegetation. Remember, when you burn vegetation, it leaves your land bare. And when the land is bare, it is exposed to agents of erosion. Then planting cover crops. Now, examples of cover crops are sweet potato vines and pumpkins. These crops that grow along the ground, those are what we are calling cover crops. So those ones will also prevent splash erosion. And lastly, constructing cut-off drains which reduce surface runoff. Constructing of cut-off drains that reduce surface runoff. So these are the ways in which we can prevent soil erosion. Thank you, and let us meet in our next lesson.